Hello everybody, welcome from me, Jack, and from the Frankenlease, the Elise that I saved from the scrapper.
It's alive.
I paid just £7,500 for this car, and the original plan was to fix the chassis damage as cheaply as I possibly could, have some fun with it, and then try and sell it on without losing too much money. The question is, how much did it cost me to fix the chassis damage, and just how much of that cost was covered by the revenue from the YouTube videos that I've done on this car? There has, however, been a change of plan. I won't be selling the Frankenlease anytime soon, and here is why. It is quite simply the best driving car that I have ever driven. It is unbelievable, I love it. It is so good, so much better than I was expecting. I had an Evora before and I did like that, but this is just like an Evora turned up to 10. It really is, there's nothing else that approaches it in the way it drives, the way it turns, the feedback, the smallness. It's just the perfect driving car for me. Absolutely love it, in case that wasn't very clear. And on a road like this, wow. I mean, I almost feel privileged that I now live out a little bit more in the country. I can get to a road like this fairly easily in a car like this. Oh. I really adore it. So, I'm not going to sell it. And the thing is, initially I was going to spend the least possible, but now that I love it so much, there's a few things that I have to do to the Frankenlease. First is tyres. It's got 10-year-old proxies on it. So maybe you can help me decide. I've already asked in some of the forums, but do I go for the original tyre sizes? That's 185s at the front, 205s at the rear. And if so, what make? Because there's not much choice in those. Or do I stick with what it has now, with what most of them has, which is 205 at the front, 225 at the back? The smaller ones, I think, are supposed to make it a bit more delicate, a bit more lithe, and the bigger ones, obviously, more grip. The other thing is, it's got some gas coilovers at the moment, and they seem to be pretty adequate, but they are the golds, which aren't the best ones. And I am always have been someone who just, for me, shocks and suspension is one of the priorities in a car because it makes such a massive difference. So should I upgrade? If so, what should I go for on that side of things? And then obviously it needs a bit of cleaning up. I need to fix this damage here, which requires a bit of work. I want to get the gear change as good as possible. I've already done some work to it, taken some of the slop out and made it a little bit smoother, greased up some of the joints and so on. And also the plastic cup holding it at the bottom wasn't clamped together properly, so I've added a thickener and that has helped a little bit, but I'll need to get the bronze bush at the front redone as well. And that's it, but I'm just going to find a place to stop now and I can just take you through the various figures, how much it cost me to fix it, break it down, and then also how much revenue I've had so far on the videos. I forgot to mention, now that I'm keeping it, I am also looking for a hardtop, so if you happen to know one that's reasonably cheap, then let me know. But let's get back to how much it actually cost me to fix the Frankenlease. So first of all, parts. The special heat-cured epoxy glue, the structural glue that was used to fix it, and the big sort of aluminium rivets that were used, altogether that was £100 here or there. The other thing was the chassis section that I got. Now, I think it's going to vary depending on where you get something like that from, how much you get charged. Because I had Phil's help, I suspect it was a rather decent price. But for that chassis section, I paid £200. So all in all, in parts, we're looking at about £300. Now, Phil and Ash actually fixed the car. Ash has his own body shop and so on. Phil was more like a consultant, helping me out, advising me. He came up with a plan on how to fix it using the glue. he didn't want to be paid anything, and I literally I gave him £100 just because he's so helpful. It doesn't reflect his contribution at all, but I just didn't want to not give him anything at all. So it was just a gesture. So £100 to Phil. Ash, for the work that he did, which Phil supported. So that's basically preparing the chassis section, cutting up the most twisted bit, straightening up whatever there was that could be slightly straightened, cutting the new section to fit, doing the gluing, doing the welding of this bit here, basically doing the whole fix. He charged me £840. Now again, I suspect that was a slightly preferential rate, so don't quote that back to him, and it will depend on whatever job you have, how much he's going to charge you. And finally, transporting the Elise from my house to Ash's place and then back cost me £300. So all in all, we're looking at a total, which is a bit higher than I was hoping really, of £1,540 to fix the Frankenlees. I had really wanted to put a ceiling of £1,000 on, but with the way it drives and everything else, to be quite honest, I am completely happy with that. So all in all, so far, the Elise has cost me £7,500 plus 1,540, so £9,040, which is probably a bit more than I would have wanted ideally, but I'm so happy with it, I really don't mind. And also, how much of that has YouTube so far covered in video revenues? Well, I think I've done 5 or 6 videos. I added them up earlier, and in revenue from YouTube, I got £900. Now I'm going to have to pay some tax on that, so I take 20% off or whatever. But it means that roughly I am about, I don't know, £800 in the red, I suppose, and that's absolutely fine because, as I said, I love the car. Thank you all so much for watching. Keep an eye out because I am going to be doing some fixes. I need to desperately sort out, I don't know if you can see it up there, need to desperately sort out this horrible looking stuff here from the fix. So that will need a bit of work and I'll be doing that. If you like what you've seen, please do subscribe. If you want to contact me, then Instagram is by far the best way, and that's just there. So again, thank you for watching and see you for the next one.